Yesterday, it was reported that Trump will send 3,000 more soldiers to the Middle East. Today, he announced that he's sending 1,000 paratroopers there. And it certainly appears that he is gearing up to have American boots on the ground in dangerous war that Congress never authorized.
The global landscape just shifted. Kinetic, not theoretical, active. Triggered by the recent address from Representative Pramila Jayapal. And at the center of it, movement. Massive movement. 3,000 soldiers, 82nd Airborne, deployed. Then, another 1,000 paratroopers, rapid follow-up. This isn't routine. This is response. High alert posture in a region already unstable. A powder keg. Now focus. Jayapal's core argument, authorization, or the lack of it. Congress, bypassed? Under the War Powers framework, this is where tension builds. Executive power versus legal limits. Constant friction. And then the framing shifts. This is war. Not diplomacy, not positioning. Engagement, active, immediate. And for the working class, everything changes. Priorities flip. Fast. Boots hit the ground, and the system starts burning resources. Fuel, transport, medical chains, combat pay. Millions per hour. Gone. So now the question hits. Hard. Is this deterrence or escalation? Because without clarity, no exit plan, no defined objective, the pattern repeats again and again. A loop. The forever war cycle. And this moment, right here, sets the stage for the next divide. Financial, massive, unavoidable.
That the American people do not want, and that will waste hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money and skyrocket costs for Americans right here at home, all the while killing innocent civilians in Iran, in Lebanon, and displacing millions of people across the Middle East. This is not an excursion. It's not a little journey. This is a war.
Money drives everything, and these numbers are massive. 200 billion requested, 30 billion already committed. That's 230 billion. Not small, not abstract, world-shaping. That kind of money reshapes continents. Now watch the contrast. Jayapal frames it clean. Military spending versus survival. The elite see investment, global dominance, strategic control. The working class sees sacrifice, real sacrifice. Now bring in the model. Guns versus butter. War versus living. Every missile launched removes money from home. Infrastructure, healthcare, education, gone. And here's the reality. 100 million Americans in medical debt. That same 230 billion could wipe it completely or end homelessness multiple times. So the question sharpens. What are we choosing? Because money spent on war moves differently. Lower domestic impact, lower return. The wealth velocity rule. War spending, slow at home. Social spending multiplies fast. And when governments choose war over people, the gap widens. Governors versus governed. That's the friction, defining this era. Now shift. Energy. The real battlefield. Geopolitics is energy control. Always has been. Jayapal warns full-scale conflict. Iran, Lebanon. That's not regional. That's global disruption. Because the Middle East is the core system. Oil, gas, flow. Any disruption, Persian Gulf, Mediterranean routes, prices spike instantly. Brent crude, up. Markets react fast. And for everyday people, it hits home. Fuel prices, transport costs, heating, food, everything rises. This is systemic shock. Energy goes up, everything follows. No delay, no protection. Inflation wave, second round, stronger, wider. Now look at exposure. The elite, hedged, protected, shielded. The working class? Direct hit, no buffer, full impact. And that's the ripple. One conflict, global consequences. A fever in one region causes shivering everywhere. Now strip it down further. Human cost. The part numbers hide. Jayapal calls it senseless, dangerous. And she's right to flag it, because modern war doesn't stay contained. It spreads. Cities, schools, hospitals, civilian zones, not battlefields. Now the trigger point. Innocent lives lost. Lebanon, Iran. That's where everything changes, because high civilian impact creates blowback, real blowback, long-term instability, conflict, radicalization, cycle repeats, again and again. Now the final question. What matters more, human life or regime change? Because history already answered once, and it didn't end well. Now look deeper. Behind every number is a person, a family, a loss. And it's always the same group that pays, the working class. Every country, same pattern. They lose homes, income, stability, lives, while decisions are made far away, by people who never face the consequences. Strategic architects, watching from distance, protected, untouched. And that's the reality. War may be efficient on paper, but fragile in human terms. And once you see that, you can't ignore it.
A war that completely undermines America's stability and ability to lead the world towards peace. We have already spent $30 billion on this war. That's enough to end homelessness in America, or to provide free school lunches to all American children. And Trump is asking for another $200 billion. There are so many things that can go towards, including, by the way, we could cancel all medical debt for 100 million Americans in the United States with that $200 billion. We could provide free school lunches for all kids in America for almost 2 decades. And we could fund nutrition assistance for 42 million Americans. There are real needs right here at home. But Trump is recklessly taking us to war, risking the lives of our troops, choking off the world's energy supply, and killing civilians in poorly planned, untargeted attacks. We've seen over and over again from our past history around the world that forever wars and ill-fated regime change efforts do not work, and that bombs are simply not the answer.
Now we zoom out. Temporal pulse, history, repeating. Again and again. Jayapal ends with a warning. Don't repeat the cycle. The last 2 decades already showed us. Forever wars, no clear end, no real resolution, just continuation. Same pattern, different location. Now identify the system. Military-industrial force overpowers diplomacy. Every time. And once that balance shifts, conflict becomes default, not exception. Now look at the evidence. Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan. Regime change attempts, failed outcomes. Unstable aftermath, long-term cost. So from a technician's view, it's simple. If a system keeps breaking, you don't keep running it. You fix it. Now the real challenge. Escape. Escape velocity. How does a nation break free from constant conflict? It changes priority. From global policing to domestic strength. From external control to internal stability. That shift is everything. Now bring it together. 5 pulses. Tactical, financial, energy, humanitarian, historical. All connected, all active, all shaping the outcome. The data? Clear. The stakes? 230 billion. The impact? Global. So now it comes back to you. Analyze it, question it, challenge it. Is this defense or repetition? A necessary move or the same mistake playing out again? Drop your thoughts, Join the discussion. Stay sharp, stay aware, stay on the pulse.